Your project viewer might not look like this, so go to View, go to Load Layout, and then select Layout to Editing. Usually you want to create a proxy for your video, and how we create a proxy is if you want it enabled by default, go to what you want to do is go to Settings, Kdenlive, go to Proxy Clips right here, and see how we have enabled proxy clips. We want that because we want the video editor to be running as fast as possible because it takes a lot of resources for each effect we add, and it also makes the exporting process very long. So exporting is basically making your video, which is creating the video basically, and have the resize width.
Around 640 pixels.
I mean, it could be anything, but I'm not
Professional at this, so just keep like that.
and generate images for larger than 2000. Press apply and then press OK. First we have to import a clip. It's on the right of a box with a white play button. Then we select that downwards facing arrow, go to add the clip or folder, and then we can add whatever clip we want. If we want to do it really fast, we can just double click it, and that will give us that'll give us the video. Or we can just click it once. We can just click it once and then press OK. Alternatively, you can just click and drag the footage from a different window. And see the P on the left-hand corner of the thumbnail? That means it has a proxy. So if we don't have a proxy for this, we can just select enable proxy like that. Using the select tool, which is right here, you can press S to automatically get to it. Okay, say we just want to immediately put the video in, all we have to do is click and drag it into the timeline. Or you can have only or you can only take in certain parts of the video by selecting set in zone, which will cut everything up until the point of your cursor. Set out zone, which will cut everything outside of it. Now we can create a insert zone into project bin. We'll create a zone within the folders underneath, the main video, and we can click and drag that in. Or we can just click and drag it manually in like this. So say we want the audio, we just take in the audio right here. Just click on the audio button or the film strip. The razor tool is right next to the selection tool, so you just select the razor tool. You can't click and drag stuff with the razor tool. The razor tool is pretty self-explanatory. You can cut stuff like this and then select it and then delete it. You can't select anything with the razor tool. You also can exit out of the razor tool by pressing escape. And we can move stuff around. You can also regroup them together by shift clicking and selecting both of them, or just shift clicking and dragging and selecting both of them. See these clips? They are both connected to each other by a group, so they're being pulled together. If you want the video and audio independent from each other, all you have to do is select ungroup clips, and you can move them as much as you like. If you want the group clips, all you have to do is right click on one of the clips and then group them again. Alt and move the video while they're still grouped together, and once you unselect it, then you select both audio and video. You can undo this by just pressing Alt again and then realigning them if you have the snapping tool enabled. The snapping tool enabled, it will snap to the edges of a clip. Without it enabled, it won't, and you won't be able to easily snap stuff. Here's the spacer tool. The spacer tool allows you to move multiple clips at once from a certain direction. To pan around in the timeline, another way you can do it is just manually select the scroll bar, and you can go like that. And if you want to zoom in, you just can shorten it, and you can zoom in. One way is to use your middle mouse button and then drag your mouse across the screen. Alternatively, we can just press Control and we can zoom in and out with that scroll wheel. You also can zoom into the project monitor by pressing Control and then scrolling. See this blue area right here? That is where your videos will be rendered. So anything within the blue area is rendered. Anything outside of it won't be rendered. And you want it rendered for your video, so when you export it, it's all together. You can extract a frame from the project monitor, and that will go to one of your that will go to one of the that will open up that will create a PNG, and you can place it wherever that will create a PNG, and you can put it in whatever folder you want on your computer. To render the video, just go to project and then render. I won't explain too much further into this, but that's how you do that. Under the project bin, there's multiple options. You can select effects. You can go back to the project bin by selecting it. Effects are pretty useful. You can figure out some of these for yourself. If you want to zoom into the video, you can just go to transform, distort, and perspective. Go to position and zoom and click and drag that onto the clip. And now you can zoom it in with the scale. Now we're going to learn about keyframes. We're going to add another keyframe that has the same properties as the first one. And then we're going to add a keyframe in front of that. Now we're going to change the zoom by increasing the scale. Now the previous keyframe will transition into the zoomed in keyframe, which will just zoom in the image. So see how it's zooming in now? That's how you use keyframes. You can remove them by just selecting them and pressing delete keyframe, and it'll go back to normal. You also can change the X, Y, and H position. So you can move it like this or this. Now that we have the keyframe, we can go like that. Add keyframes to the same variables, so that way you can have a long zoom in. And now we're going to do it the simple way, which is go to the star right here, select transform. Now with transform, there's a little box underneath with transform, there's a box underneath the project monitor video, and you can select show/hide edit mode. And we can add a keyframe right here. We can zoom in with the edit mode by clicking and dragging the points. So there we go. That is the easiest way to do it. You also can do the same for position and zoom. Okay, we're going to add a transition to this clip. The simplest way is to select mix clips and select both of these right here, and then select mix clips. And that will add a transition. Select the transition directly and add a wipe method so that way you can see it change what's going on. Let's see if it works. Yep, it does. See right there that if it doesn't work, just select the track number. If it goes green, that means the track is active, so you can add effects to it more easily. Effects don't work if you don't have the track active. And if we want to add a transition another way is to drag a clip on top of another clip. How you add a transition is by pressing this purple dot right here. The clip beneath the transition will transition upwards. To increase the volume of a clip, select volume under star, and then click and drag it onto the video. And you can go modify the audio by setting keyframes and stuff if you want to make the audio shorter. And if you want to change all of the audio, you can just go to select this right here, audio mixer, and that will allow you to increase the volume like this by increasing it like that. But it will increase the volume for everything. To change the speed of a clip, you can press Control and then click and drag inwards to speed it up, or click and drag outwards to slow it down. And also you can just select change speed and increase the speed like that. We go here, we select this, and then we select time remap. So now that we have the video selected with the time remap, we can add a point and we can add a time key. I'll call it time keys instead of keyframes to make sure you don't get as confused. So here's a time key. See the red areas? That means it's selected. And if you want to add a time key, you have to select underneath the time frame, then select add keyframe, which is in our case a time key. And if we want to speed this up, we'll select speed after, and everything after this point will speed up. It will gradually slow down until it reaches that point. You can change it so that doesn't happen, but I'm not going to show that. To add subtitles to your video, you just press Shift S and then you can add a subtitle, whatever you want it to be. See, we added a subtitle. You probably can't see it right now. It's right there, see? Very small. And we can change the style of the subtitle over here. If we want, we can scale it upwards and show the preview. There we go, we're scaling it upwards, scaling it like that. We can change the alignment to the top right, to the top left. And there we go. See? And if we just want to easily change it. We can just set the font to something like, I guess, Wet Wingdings. And you can also change the size of it like that. It's a little complicated when you do it that way, but it works. You also can change where the subtitles are by selecting the options menu right here, the options thing under subtitles. And you can change the position of it, say minus right, minus 2000. So that's not 2000, it's 200. See, it moved it. That's how you do it. And remember, it's under subtitles. So you change the margins to change the position if you want to do it that way. But then go unselect, show more options, and it'll go back and you can write whatever you want again. To add a title clip, select Add Clip or Folder and the downwards arrow facing right next to it, and select Add Title Clip. This will open up a menu where you can type in something as much as you want. There you go. And you use a selection tool to move it, and you use a selection tool to edit it by double-clicking it. So if you want to edit it, all you have to do is double-click it. So there we go. And we can add multiple of these. We can change the color over here to yellow. Now it's P yellow. And change the gradient. You can change the gradient of it, and here's where we change the fonts. If you want to delete these, you just select them and press delete. And that once you press create a title, that will add it to the background. And if you want to edit the title, I'm going to have to add another one of these right here. There we go. Create it. Go into the project bin, edit clip, and you'll be able to change it. If you want to have multiple clips have the same effect, you can go over to your videos, ungroup them, then go over, click and drag, and then right click and create sequence from selection. Now you can add effects to the whole thing. Now, if we want to obscure this menu right here, we can go to Add Color Clip. So now we added a color clip. Now we place down the color clip right here. Then we go into Effects, and go to Transform, Distort, and Perspective, and select Crop, Scale, and Tilt. Place it on, click and drag it onto the color, and you will now be able to have a black bar on your video. You can also add a transform so you can move it around easier. Here we have a transform, and I'm going to click and drag it onto the video. Now, when we select a transform, we can move it around. So if we want one video zoomed in while the other video is not zoomed in, we can copy and paste the clip, put it above the clip we want the background to be. We'll go to Project Bin, then we'll select Effects, then go to Transform, Distort, and Perspective. Click on that, and we'll add it to the clip. See, we have it added now. Now I'm going to scale it inwards, so this is what I want zoomed in. Now, if we add a position and zoom, we will be able to make this smaller. And we'll have like an area that is zoomed in. Okay, I want all of this area distorted. See this area right here? And I want a specific area, like a box, like right over here, to not be distorted. We can go to Effects, go to Alpha, Mask, and Keying. Go to Alpha Shapes, place Alpha Shapes there. Then we can go select Transform, Distort, and Perspective. We can add a distort to it, and the area which we have selected will be distorted. Unintentionally I did this, but that's interesting. Okay. Now if we add a transform underneath it, that will allow us to move the same area which we that will allow us to move the same area we distorted without changing what area is being shown.